Good morning from Masters 2025. It's day 3 here in Scottsdale, and while the coffee might be strong, the competition last night was even stronger.
That's right. Beer boat races made their triumphant return, and although some took on water, all the beer cans made it safely across.
Now, joining us this morning is someone who's become a bit of a Masters legend, James J.R. Russell, Associate Technical Fellow, and last night's official beer boat commentator.
JR, welcome back. We know you've seen a lot of Masters over the years. What made this one special, or what do you like about it?
So it was great, or it has been great. This is our second Masters post-COVID. We had 23 Masters up until 2019,
right.
And then there was a hiatus there for the COVID break, and we came back last year for our 24th Masters, and it was great, but there was still kind of those little hitching the giddy up to get started again.
Of course.
And then this year things are moving really fast. Moving really smooth, and there's a new energy that is out there.
It's palpable.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. Now, last night we also had the keynote address from Rich Simonsek, our COO, who highlighted our continued adoption and exploration into AI solutions and our partnership with industry leaders.
We've got a full schedule today. Class is already kicking off, and we're gearing up for another packed afternoon and evening. We've got the first robotics student showcase, where teams bring their robots, coding prowess, and of course, teamwork.
Plus, yes, the rumors are true, Casino Night is back. Games, prizes, and probably a few engineers trying to calculate odds in real time.
But before we dive into today's recap, let's check in with Grace real quick.
Thanks, guys. So if you missed the beer boats last night, don't worry, I have a recap coming up. I will also be interviewing the 2 lead engineers that built all of the boats. So stay tuned. Back to you guys.
All right, JR, for the uninitiated, do you mind walking us through what the beer boat races is?
Yeah. So it's 2 stages. There's the building of the boat and the racing of the boat.
Right.
What we provided was the hyperdrive unit, what we called, which we'll go into later, and the remote control that was prepared. Each of them based on our Bluetooth solutions. And so the actual design of the motors and all of that, we took care of and let the design freedom to the attendee to be the hull design.
Right.
And so for the first hour, it's taking this piece of, and you can kind of see the styrofoam there, 2 foot by 2 foot by 1 inch panel.
Okay.
You get that and a saw, and you come up with your own hull design.
Nice.
Excuse me. You need to optimize it for cargo and maneuverability, because the way it's scored is your total time across the pool, which is about 100 feet, divided by the number of beer cans you can safely carry across the boat.
Nice.
So it's seconds per beer is how it's scored.
Standard unit
Yeah,
of
it's pretty, standard internationally recognized measurement. And the race happens then from about 8:30 till 10. And there's 2 heats. You can make modifications in between.
Okay.
And you get your best score.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, what were some of the design considerations that engineers had to keep in mind while making their boats?
Yeah, so in boat building, you can see right there is boat number 4, which was the clear winner. It was the only boat that actually extended the water line.
Okay.
LWL, length of water line, was a very important consideration, and the gentleman who won, he did that successfully while maintaining the ability to carry a full max load of 15 beers across the pool. That was the max number, and you could optimize your design for whatever.
And what were the fastest times that the boats were able to make, and how much did that fastest boat beat the competition?
Yeah, he won by about 30%, I would say.
Wow.
It's a standard. We all can relate to seconds per beer, but it was around 5.
Okay.
That he did.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Love to hear it. Thanks, JR. It's always good to hear from somebody who's basically a Masters legend.
All right, let's swing it back over to Grace and take a closer look at one of the boats.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for staying by. All right, so here I have Bob Martin, the Wizard of Make, as well as Patrick Fitzpatrick, and they created most of the boats last night. So, what is the secret to creating a great beer boat?
Excellent question. When JR contacted me and said, Bob, I would love to get the Wizard of Make involved in this project because this is what I do. It's part of my job. The key to the Great Beer Boat was the key to my design of the drive unit. I own the design of what we call the hyper thruster unit and the electromechanical of the remote. And when you're trying to just achieve that mission of I needed to create a drive unit that was simple and easy to make because we had a request initially was about 10 up to 40 material for 40. So I went wood and plastic with a lovely sandwich case, which turned out to be the perfect size for the electronics. And I also concentrated on making sure, because we were graciously allowed the use of the pool at the Fairmont, I had to make sure that it was safe chemically and electrically. There's a fairly large RC battery in here that doesn't like water, so it's well protected from the water. Overall, what we have is a Bluetooth-powered control unit, an H-bridge going out to small but mighty. These are 30 millimeter ducted fans, and when these boats are running, we have about 50 watts going to each of the, to the entire motor assembly. So there's a lot of energy going out there. The intent was for the contestants to then, they were given a 2x2 sheet of this foam, and that was the limit of the buoyant material they could carve from. They were, again, 4 square feet. Allowed things, toothpicks allowed them to carve things and attach things. No adhesives, nothing that could contaminate the swimming pool. And of course, a copious amount of zip ties. So that all comes together, and again, the key was to keep everything simple and basic. Understand this, and don't over-engineer things, which I know for a lot of us engineers, that's a hard thing not to do. But again, I've been involved with enough of these projects to understand the assignment and just keep things simple, especially when you're making so many of them. So I'll pass it over to Patrick, and he can talk about the software and the remote and where we went from there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, man.
following on from Bob's philosophy, simplicity is the key, right? So on both sides, we're using a WBZ 451 HPE, which is the high-power edition of the WBZ Curiosity board. We kept the software as simple as possible. It's just simple polling of the switches on this side, sending the information over Bluetooth to the thruster unit, which is just a simple BLE peripheral. This is the BLE central. A little bit of fan control. We found out during the development that the fans are cheap, but they're a little finicky, so we had to do a little bit of PWM control to make sure we didn't blow them out and things like that. So basically very simple software between remote and the thruster, and yeah, as we say, simplicity is best. I was very happy the way we had no technical issues in terms of software or hardware, so very happy and success of the event. I think it was a great event. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks to you both. Well, you heard it here, folks. This is the best way to create a beer boat. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Grace. That was pretty cool. All right, coming up later today, we have Annalisa Regalado, who's joining us in the 5 o'clock segment to talk about how FIRST Robotics is shaping the future of engineering.
Then later tonight, engineers try their hands at casino night. Remember, it's not luck, it's probability.
We'll be back later today with more interviews, sneak peeks, and floor highlights.
This is Masters Live. Stick around, we're not done yet.